Welcome to the channel where we bring you the funniest and best quality kids videos from around the world. And now back to the show. Benny the backpack was very unhappy. Every morning his zipper would get all red-eyed from staring at the rain. Then he'd get all packed with books, jostled onto the bus, then shoved into lockers. Finally, when he could breathe again, he'd get filled with smelly gym clothes. I'm a backpack, Benny sighed, not a book bag. I want vacation. One day, while riding the bus, Benny saw an ad. It said, "Wish you were here," in big red letters. Below it was a picture of a beach with a kid wearing a Hawaiian shirt and holding a coconut. Benny felt a strong pull in his zipper. He had to go there. As soon as school ended, he dashed out the door, down the street, past the playground, and to the bus stop. At first, he didn't see anyone waiting. Just as he was about to plop down on the bench, he heard a familiar giggle. It was Betsy. She was known for being bossy, but right now, she looked excited. "Wait, are you going somewhere?" Benny asked her. "Yep, to the beach. Want to come along?" she asked. Benny couldn't believe his straps. He was actually getting a ride to the beach. Sure," he replied. When they got on the bus, Benny noticed something strange. All the other school bags were there, too. Some were whispering, others were sleeping, but they were all headed to the same place as him. As the bus rumbled along, Benny grew more and more excited. At last, they arrived. It was the most beautiful beach Benny had ever seen. The water sparkled like a million jewels. Palm trees swayed in the gentle breeze and kids splashed in the shallows. But something was missing. "Where are the coconuts?" Benny asked Betsy. "Oh, those," she said, pointing to a nearby stand. "They're over there." As Benny walked toward the coconuts, he saw his reflection in a shop window. "Oh!" he exclaimed. He wasn't a neat and tidy school bag anymore. His front pocket hung open, his straps were untied, and his zippers were undone. "I look terrible," he thought. Maybe he needed to be a bit more put together before cracking open a coconut. He started buttoning himself up when suddenly he heard a loud voice. "Hey, who needs buttons anyway?" It was Chuck the messenger bag. He strutted over to a picnic table and sat down. "Let's just relax," he said. "This is what vacations are for." Chuck took off his straps and laid them on the table. "Come on," said Betsy. "Let's go swimming." But Benny couldn't take his eyes off Chuck. "How can you relax without any pockets or padding?" he asked. "Who needs those things anyway?" Chuckled Chuck. "I can swim faster without them." Just then, some kids ran over to Chuck. "Hey, can we use your long strap as a jump rope?" they asked. "Sure," said Chuck. "Go ahead." Benny watched as they jumped and skipped, having lots of fun. An idea popped into Benny's head. "I can do that, too," he thought. He stood up and untied one of his straps. "Here you go," said Benny to the kids. "You can use my strap as a jump rope." The kids smiled. "Thanks," they said. They took the strap and started jumping. After a while, Benny joined in. He laughed as he watched them jump higher and higher. Soon, all the kids were using their straps as jump ropes. Even the backpacks on the bus were jumping. Just then, Benny heard a familiar voice. "What are you doing?" It was Miss Dot Appleby. She waddled over to Benny and gave him a stern look. "Aren't you supposed to be in school?" she asked. "We are," chirped the kids. "We're learning how to skip and jump, Miss." Appleby looked at them for a moment. Then she smiled. Well, class is in session, she said. So why don't we continue learning here? The kids cheered. Yay, class at the beach, they shouted toward Miss. Appleby took out her laptop and sat down. All right, class, she said. Today we're learning about tropical plants. She clicked to the next slide. Ooh, what's this? She asked. That's a coconut palm, said Betsy. It grows coconuts, added Benny. Correct, said Miss Appleby. And coconuts grow on beaches, said Chuck. Not in school, quipped Benny. Everyone laughed. Miss Appleby turned to the next slide. What about this plant? What's its name? She asked. I know, shouted Benny. That's a sago palm. You can eat the middle part, he explained. That's called the stipe, said Miss Appleby. And if you cut the stipe lengthwise, you get these yummy little nuggets, she said. The kids were drooling by the time Miss Appleby showed the next slide. It had pictures of kids eating coconuts and sago. Wow, whispered Benny. All this time I thought they were just decorations. Miss Appleby smiled. Nope, not only are they tasty, they're also a great source of nutrition. At that moment, Benny felt something inside him start to change. He realized that maybe being a backpack wasn't so bad. He liked helping kids learn new things. After all, that's what school was for. Just then, someone tapped him on the shoulder. It was Chuck. Hey, Benny, he said. Do you want to help me with something? Benny nodded. Sure. Chuck led Benny over to the picnic table. There were some coconuts and a sharp knife on the table. Can I? Asked Benny. You want to crack open a coconut? Go ahead, said Chuck. So Benny did his best to crack the coconut. He whacked it against the table, but it wouldn't open. Need a hand? Asked Chuck. Benny blushed. Sure, he said. Together, they cracked the coconut open and lapped up the cool, sweet water. Benny sighed. This was the best coconut he'd ever tasted. As the afternoon went on, Benny helped Miss Appleby teach the kids about tropical plants. They learned about sea grapes, which taste like salty cucumbers, and pandan, which has a coconutty flavor and can be used to make yummy desserts. By the end of the day, Benny was exhausted. Being a backpack was hard work. He thanked Miss Appleby for making class at the beach so fun. No problem, Benny, she said. After all, you're part of our class now, aren't you? Then she added with a wink, and we love having you. As the sun began to set, it was time to go home. The kids gathered their things and headed to the bus. See you next time, Miss Appleby, they shouted. Bye, class, she replied. On the bus ride home, Benny couldn't stop thinking about how much fun he'd had. Maybe being a backpack wasn't so bad after all. In fact, he kinda liked it. He liked helping the kids learn, and he liked living out his crazy adventures. As they pulled up to the school, Benny turned to Betsy. Thanks for inviting me to the beach today, he said. No problem, she replied. It was fun, wasn't it? Then she added, Hey, I even learned something new myself. What's that? Asked Benny. Well, said Betsy, I never knew a backpack could be so smart. Benny blushed. Oh, well, you know, it's true, he said. Suddenly, the bus doors opened and Miss Appleby stepped in. Hey, class, she said. Don't forget about our field trip to the aquarium next week. We're going to learn all about sea turtles. The kids cheered. Yay, an underwater classroom, they shouted. As the bus drove away, Benny couldn't help but smile. He loved being a backpack. He loved his job. And he loved going on adventures with his friends. The end. We hope you enjoyed this hilarious school bag adventure for kids. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our fun and educational content. Thanks for watching.